Hello ladies and gents, welcome back once again to another installment or round of Cushmic Sounds video demos. And this time around, you can see from my little grin here, you can tell when I like something because I just get this, I'm grinning like a Cheshire cat. I am proud to offer, I'm quite chuffed as the older boys would say, to present this early 1974 Gibson Grabber Bass, converted to fretless. Now, when I opened the case for this guitar, so first off, I'm selling on behalf of the family of a gentleman who sadly passed away a few years back, and I'm trying to do the right thing by them and for the bass to rehome this lovely thing. I would love to add this one to my collection. I don't need it, but like every guitarist, there's always room for another one, you know. So I'll have to think about it. Anyway, I've listed it as being a modified fretless, and based on the fact of my research, checking out serial numbers, that Gibson didn't issue a fretless version of their Gibson Grabbers or Ripper basses, Ripper basses I'll get to in a sec. They didn't issue a fretless bass till around 1975. So look, if you're on YouTube now, you want to comment on that, correct me correct me if I'm wrong, and I will update the listing accordingly. But from what I can tell, look, it had me fooled for a bit because it's done so well. But we've got arrow side position indicators here as well as dots and lines as well. So that's to me, that's just, it's too messy to be a Gibson production line sort of build. So normally Gibson would just have your side dots. But anyway, it's done, I will say, it's been done incredibly well. It had me fooled, and they've added, whoever's done it, kudos to you. The rosewood is killer. It's beautiful. It's a really nice streaky sort of piece of rosewood. It's nice and dark as well. Beautiful. Original nut, which I've confirmed. We've got all original electronics, original pickup, original bridge. Now on this bridge, you want to be careful because see those screws? Yeah, look at that. They'll stab you. So just be careful. If you're a picker, you know, you might want to put something over that. Normally these would have come with a bridge over the top. So this has since been, I wouldn't say lost, maybe it was taken off, who knows. But yeah, you can find them around. You might be able to have something manufactured, but you know, $200 to $300 to find something. Now, as far as the tuners go, so looking at the tuners on this lovely thing, what I've done, I've had to replace a couple of the bolts in the back of the tuner. The screws that were, the bolts that were in there, I had a look when I got this bass, and I actually just pulled them out. They weren't really doing much at all, so I've had to sort of, I've had to go down to my local hardware store and find some screws with the correct thread. And I've added a couple of washers to make it all uniformed as well. Screws are slightly longer, so the washers kind of help space that out. But have a look at the I've got some photos of what I've done. It's got the two original screws. One washer is missing, but I thought I'm going to leave it like that because the tuner actually does work okay. Now, we'll say the tuners work all right. They do wind the opposite direction, which is kind of weird. Who knows? It was the 70s. Who knows? But I'm not entirely sure if these tuners are original. They look with the, you know, the back plate with the patina of the bridge and the patina of the tuners. They could be possible, maybe Schala replacements. Just through my research, they might be a Schala tuner because based on what I've looked at, the early versions of these basses, the tuners didn't have the Gibson logo. And then in 74, sort of mid to late 74, the Gibson logo was added to the back of the tuners. So who knows? They could be original. I'm not going to confirm that, so I've listed it as being possible replacements, but who knows? They do function reasonably well. There is one loose peg here, so when you're playing I don't know if you can hear that, you pick really hard, you can hear a bit of a rattle. It's not the truss rod. I've tested that. I've checked it out. The truss rod is perfect. It works. The neck, I've got the neck reasonably straight. There's a little bit of relief down here. The action's nice. But yeah, you might get a little bit of that buzz. You might hear it through the video in a sec. Now, why did they call this a grabber? Well, this cool pickup. You can actually grab the pickup and you can shift it to wherever you want. How cool is that? or maybe maybe they could have called this a slider. Who knows? Because you're really just sliding the pickup, really. But so towards the fretboard, you're getting towards the neck joint, you're getting more of a rhythm tone, and towards the bridge, you're getting a more trebly, bridgier. Doesn't even make sense. More of a treble tone. So yeah, think of it as a two pickup guitar. You're getting rhythm and treble. I kind of like it towards the neck, but I'll demo positions. In terms of the body, you've got a one piece. From what I can tell, it's a one piece. Could be a two. I'm not sure. It's a one piece. I'm going to say one piece maple body with a two piece maple neck. So it's a bolt on neck. The neck is even though it's a bolt on, the neck is actually glued in. I don't know if the luthier that did the work on this neck did that or not for added strength, but it's been done, so I'm not going to take the neck off. So normally I like to photograph these guitars and take photos of the neck pocket, but I'm not going to go that far for this one. So it's got a scarf joint here, which is quite common for these basses. You're having a one-piece neck, that's a bit risky, so it's a little bit stronger here with that scarf joint. It's a string through body as well. You'll see there. Some of the later basses had like a protective plate insert, and then you'd put your strings in. This is just straight in. You've got string ferrules in there as well to hold the ends of the strings in place. And yeah, look, all original electronics. I don't know if I've mentioned that yet, but the pots date to the 12th week of 1974. They are CTS pots. Original cap and what looks to be the original input jack. And yeah, I think I've gone through just about everything. Yeah, let's play. All right, I'm going to try and play something. Now, I'm not a bass player. You can tell I've grabbed a pick already. Although one of my favourite bass players of all time uses a pick. And that would be no relation to this bass, but that would be Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy. But look, Gene Simmons, huge advocate for these basses, uses a pick. Yeah, look, he had a black Gibson Grabber. I think he used the rippers as well. I could be wrong, but he used the black one. He had a sparkle one in the 70s. He's got a burgundy, and he's probably got a bunch of other ones in his collection. So yeah, look, Google Gene Simmons, Gibson Grabber, Gibson Ripper, and you'll find some details on all that. Now in the listing, I have added a link. Now I've added a link for more info on Wikipedia about regarding Bill Lawrence. So I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. So Bill Lawrence was actually the designer of the Gibson Ripper and Gibson Grabber basses. And also you'll notice that if you're familiar with the Gibson S1s, the Gibson Marauders, they're also Bill Lawrence designs. So you can check out the link on my listing if you want to read up about Bill Lawrence. And also I've added a link as well you can go straight to a page and have a read of all about the Gibson Ripper bass and how they all came about. So have a read. Anyway, I'm saying a lot of ums and ahs today. I'm trying to remember everything and get through it. It's been a big weekend and it's been a big day. Let's get into some playing, all right? I'll do my best. Here we go. That was all right. I tried learning that the other day, so I'm surprised I remembered that. Not bad. But let's test out the fretless. Fretless is quite, I've got to say, fretless has been a bit of a challenge. I don't know how those guys do it, especially on the double basses or feel. Anyway, let's try out. So both volume, the volume and the tone are on 10. Let's go. So I'll play a riff on the neck position, and then I'll move the pickup towards the bridge. All right. So let's see how we go. Now let's move it. nasally towards the bridge. Yeah, so it's killer. Now with the pots as well, they were a little bit scratchy. There's a little bit of scratchiness in there, but look, they are original, so I don't want to. They haven't been touched, you know, apart from being cleaned. So I've given a little bit of a spray, a little bit of clean, and a little bit of a blowout as well, just to try and clean them up as best I can. So I've got them to where they're working well. If you want to change it, go for it. But for the purposes of keeping its originality, I didn't want to change that. So look, I'm going to leave it there, ladies and gents. I think I've pretty much covered everything. It doesn't come with its original case, unfortunately, so it's priced accordingly. But as mentioned, I'm selling on the behalf of a family of a gentleman that sadly passed away. So hopefully we can rehome this one. And as I said, you know, I was thinking of maybe rehoming it here and making an offer. But no, look, I think I should be smart about this and move it on. I can't have everything that comes through the door. It's yeah, so non-original case. It's a I forget the I think it's a UXL or something, but it's a sturdy case. Comes with an old vintage leather Planet Wave strap. There's a polished cloth. I've given it new strings as well, so 50 to 105 chromes, so flat wound strings, and also I've included 2 extra bolts and washers if you want to make the back of the headstock more uniformed. You know, you could do that, and they'll go straight in. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to leave it there. This is a really, I don't know how many times I've said it today. It's a really cool, it's a lovely bass. Just a rock and roll machine. Google them, have a look, have a read. All the info's on my listing. There's links there. Have a look. If you've got any other questions, queries, concerns, and yeah, look, I'm offering free shipping as well. So free shipping worldwide. The way I do that, I work it out. It comes out of my commission. But just so you, the buyer, don't have to worry about that extra shipping cost. So look, if you are international, if you are overseas, be aware of your country's import costs. I won't pay them. That's on you. That doesn't sound, that didn't sound too mean, hopefully, but no, it's just business. Okay, free shipping, that's a pretty good deal. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, ladies and gents. Once again, happy guitar hunting or happy bass hunting, and I'll see you very soon with another gems. So for now, I'll take it easy. See you later.